Right.
Just because you're so angry.
I'm so frustrated right now.
Dragon.
I really hope we didn't just reverse jinx Mineski because they need this win if they want to stay in the upper bracket. They are going to try against LGD with Odipixel and Fog.
Thank you, CB. Yes, game 2 now between LGD and Mineski. I'm Odipixel on here with Fog. And we've had a change up from both sides. The panel very much liking what Mineski's doing this time round, thinking that this could be a pretty good game for the Ember.
Much better draft this time around for sure. I don't know, the Dragon Knight did feel pretty good to me though. They needed a hard lockdown. They only really had the Bane to rely on to try to catch this Ember Spirit, so I think they actually needed this in their mid lane, right? They needed to have some type of catch. And it's like the DK Gyro course. Sure, we saw that lose earlier, but I mean LGD, they're a bit of a different monster, but now top Chalice. 5 heroes from Mineski.
And they've got themselves first blood. And that Ember that we're talking about potentially having a lovely game, he's just been given first blood. Moon able to take it there.
He'll be happy. Get that early Wraithbrand hang out. We have an even better time in that mid lane. Oh. Bottle. DK Gyro. Brew. Gonna be a lot based on like the ulti timings as well. If they can play around the long duration ultis of Mineski. LGD, they aren't as ulti reliant. Sure, they need the Brewmaster for the majority of the times, but you look at Mineski's and they need the Death Prophet ulti for majority of their damage unless this Ember Spirit just pops off. So I'm gonna be looking at that for the most part in this game. A lot of pressure on this Ember to make sure that he's quite far ahead so that they aren't just relying on DP ulti as their damage in the fights.
Over. Getting position there for a potential early courier snipe. Since finding it.
Because it was the first blood, right, that came out, so he's like, oh, this Ember's gonna bring an item out. But now TP's toward bottom, just trying to clear the lane. For Ame, goes for Enfeeble again. Time around to try to just pressure jabs a bit. Doesn't want to allow his Gyro Cup to get pressured too much. This top lane, this Brewmaster should get quite a lot though. I understand why they put the DP up here for the Siphon though. You want to be able to just try to eat some of that pressure, but it's still going to be a pretty good lane, at least for Chalice, to get a good amount of farm up here as this Brew. Why is really bullying Ninja Boogie right now.
The Boogie getting bullied right back behind the tower. Right clicks from that flank. Clarifying up so he can continue the spam onto this top lane, that pressure onto both Mushi and Boogie.
We're already doing very good in that mid lane with that Wraithband. Bit of a damage advantage if he doesn't get hit by the Breathe Fire. Level 3 is the bigger one though when you get the Flame Guard, it being unable to be broken by that Breathe Fire. Right now it's Breathe Fire and it takes it out, but the side pull down bottom. Who's gonna get the last hit on the Satyr? Oh, nobody. The creep.
The creeps will prevail.
And a lot of harassment getting thrown onto Ame because of that. So bottom lane, the two side lanes, both going the reverse manner. You know, LGD getting that top lane and bottom. Both of them actually doing like very similar movements. They pulling the side, trying to deny that farm from the carry.
Claimed here by Moon. 13 for 2 against the 10 for 1. For the 11 for 0 in the middle lane between him and Somnus. But it is this good start. I mean, in terms of sort of the Ember, if you're LGD, what are you looking at as sort of being your answer to the Ember Spirit in this game down the line? Because as sort of the panel said, as Black said, they are sort of letting him have this good start because of the lane matchups and because of this final DK pick that they want.
It's just going to be if the DK can get the lockdown on him over and over again.
Yeah.
If they can, they should have a decent amount of damage to bring him down because they do have high damage on their lineup to breach through that shield.
Bottom. Nice. Getting decent farm out of this lane, same to be said. He's matching the farm of armor. They are able to sort of slow down on his farm on the Gyro. Mid lane. Nice body blocks here from Moon. Will have to do a lot of damage to Somnus with the Flame Guard. Turn around and a Breathe Fire. Both of them continue to battle on at low HP.
Fairly even though in that mid lane.
Bottom lane.
Bottom. They should get X Nova.
2 steps forward, a little too far.
the power of this, having the gush early on. You know, they went for the first blood with the gush, but now it allows them to actually put pressure onto Xnova when he steps up too far. And they're slowing down Ame's farm a decent amount here.
Top lane as well, Mineski. Jump in to Chalice. Always there with the blaster, hold them back, and Chalice will be fine.
These Orb of Venom ranged heroes in the off lanes is like the new thing. Even FY as this Coddle has an Orb of Venom, which is something you don't really see too often at all. But that's just, it is the new meta for this 4/5 heroes that put harassment.
Mid lane. And the chains are there, Somnus. And lots of harassment as I mean, really is playing this lane very well so far. 26 for 3 and that slight lead on Somnus's DK.
They might try to make a play if the DK is able to get level 6 before the Ember, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen with the denies that are coming out. Somnus gets the level 1 in stun, so 2-1-2 build coming out, so they can look to try to lock down that Ember, make some rotations as well with that Dragon Knight. He sees the opportunity at 6.
One lane ice, popping the mango there to try and get aggressive onto Arme. Gabs back over, quickly receives the enfeeble from Nova.
By a lot of those power shots though. Great job with that. So slowing down the farm of this Gyro, and now it's Nova. Some pressure. Ame.
He's trying to go over the rocket barrage, but he's taking a lot of damage. He does have the stick charges, but the power shot connects.
Oh my goodness,
Ame,
Jabs.
incredibly low. Jabs can go for one more touch will do it, and Ame is going to get taken down. Jabs getting one. Maybe they can get another. Mango's popped by Ice. Nova pops the stick charges and will turn with the brain sap. Power shots out, won't finish off X-Nova, and Ice will die. The right clicks there, and the tower hits, bringing him down.
Moon made the move down bottom.
Managed to at least pick up that overkill, but overall Mineski getting very aggressive on that bottom lane. Punishing Arme, slowing down this Gyro start.
That was a smooth rotation by Moon, getting the bounty rune as well. Right before getting that kill too. Some tower pressure going to be coming out from Somnus though, so he knows the Ember rotated. But a quick glyph, interact that.
Both hitting 6 down in the middle lane. So, with that extra safety for Moon with his remnants. Gabs also coming across also.
Yeah, they're really limited on this table on LGD for the Ember Spirit. Just the Bane as well as that Dragon Knight, for the, unless he gets hit by drained out of mana, Coddle Mana Leak. Mana Leak looks like a pretty good spell this game though.
Not so
Once you start getting points in the much later stages. So far, fairly even. Pressure coming out from both sides. It's surprising that Ice is lacking a little bit on those last hits. Probably just from like the enfeebles being thrown out constantly on both him and Jabs. They're also looking to apply pressure and look for kills and slow down the Gyro. So much of this farm, you see Ice constantly just gushing, walking up, throwing out the Anchor Smash, even missing a couple last hits to prioritize that, getting that Ame low on this Gyrocopter.
Am getting very close to having the 6, so we'll get to that point where 2 of them down there can look to try and set up with a Nightmare. Go for a kill. Top lane. Mineski looking for FY. FY goes for the TP out. He's not going to make it. XD themselves a 5th kill in these early stages of the lane. 5 for 1.
Death Prophet versus these tanky strength heroes. You can't actually make the aggressive move on her. Those 30 seconds out and got him. Ame gunning down on again. Missile's out, but yeah.
And then just continues to be a straight trader farm.
Yeah, it's like,
it's
like sure, you can't break the shield now at this point with the initial Dragon Breath, but the harassment that comes up from the right clicks now starts to add up in Ember Spirit.
Top lane trying to go on Nova. Nice Nightmare there to dodge the power shot by the looks of it.
Somnus actually, Moon threw a Remnant down and started TPing the base right in front of Somnus, so Somnus just walks up and Moon has to stop the TP. Dragon Knight's able to get some pressure on mid because of that. A bit of a mistake there coming out from Moon.
He's off the back of that onto the mid lane. So he will be getting the space Somnus to bring that tower increasingly lower. Now about a third of its health only left. Back up with Nova. Oh, oops. Nightmare and Dragon Tail at the same time there, so not really going to achieve much at all for LGD.
That might have been a kill if they didn't stack them.
Top lane Mushi.
Ame's trying to get active here.
Problem Mushi's going very aggressive onto FY. He does get the kill, but it may cost him his life as Ame, with that wraparound, which Mushi just did not expect at all, to suddenly see Ame appearing from the other side of the Roshan pit.
These active level 6 gyrocopters, we've been seeing this more often, especially when you're getting pressured when in like one of these lanes, which, I mean, that's the dual lane factor all the time. These double spammers, you want to be making early rotations as this gyro, and successful for Ame. Smoke comes out mid. Somnus still about 1,000 HP though, and does not actually go on that high ground. He seems to actually know because the creeps are hitting the tower. He's aware that something's happening.
Top lane Chalice. And Ame getting aggressive once again. Looking towards Ninja Boogie. He'll go for the Burrow Strike, but the missile connects and who will fall? They've got the Primal Split. And they try for Mushi as well. They have the control. Extra TPs are coming through, though Ame is hesitant about diving behind that tower. People will be cancelled by Ice as soon as he sees that the TP attempt has sort of pushed Ame away from diving for the kill. They'll turn towards Jabs instead, though. Jabs going for the TP out, will make it. No way to cancel it between the three of them.
Who killed the courier? The Jabs?
Oh yeah.
So he's positioned up there.
And Mushi's still hiding. Ame did have a quick look for him, but Mushi just having to hide himself in the trees.
Mushi's farm has totally stopped after that laning start. Had a great start initially versus the Bruin as well as that Coddle, but after dying that one time, he has lost quite a lot of net worth.
And he needs someone to come up here and help him get out. His TP is still not there for 30 seconds. And he is all alone in those trees. Nice. Oh, nice shackle from Jabs.
Coming in.
Now with the remnants, bam, no jumping on the Brew. Brew's gone, X-Nova tries to turn, and Mushi's there as well, ready to look towards Ame as LGD a little too deep and outnumbered. They'll lose Ame as well. Mineski punishing them for being inside the jungle. Burrow Strike 4 from Ninja Boogie costs him his life. He doesn't make the connection. He'll pay, but they do find the cleanup kills. Mineski getting 3 kills after LGD hang around a little too long over Mineski's half of the map.
I mean, they got incredibly aggressive right next to a shrine there just to look for a Sankin kill. They don't have the Brewmaster ulti. Their Dragon Knight was farming jungle. Coddle's bottom. Definitely overzealous there by LGD and getting punished by Mineski. That gets Mushi to catch a little bit back up to with that quick move over.
And still the sort of the 2 big titans in the mid lane continue to be at the top of the network. Bottom lane Ice being found out. Ame more than enough magical between him and FY. Tied.
They would have even had like that quick instant extra rocket barrage afterwards too, because that chakra magic, of course. Oh, but now Ame.
He's going to get caught out by this. Boogie comes around with the Burrow Strike, and Mushi's there with the damage. Ame.
Oh, did he? I think Ninja Boogie got the creep too. Ame really wanted to try to get down there. FY getting hit by a little bit by the ghosts here. Be a bit careful.
Very nice rotation from Mushi.
Good to travel on Moon. He's looking to go for the Keep of the Light.
And they're hunting in the trees. FY in a lot of trouble. He's going to reveal himself with that blast. They know that he's still in here somewhere, and they will cut through the trees and find him. Searing Chains is out from Moon. Backup is there for FY, but FY, is he still going to finally tick down to the flame gun? They've got the epicenter as well onto Somnus, who came in alone to try and help out FY, and they lose another.
And that was a Dragon form popped as well as soon as he goes bottom, and all of Mineski is already positioned there. LGD getting outmaneuvered a bit here.
This is looking so much better from Mineski. Their lineup just makes much more sense. The panel, they believed in it, and so far in these first 12 minutes, we are certainly seeing Mineski make the plays. Still just a 1k gold advantage, though not the biggest, as the farm is still there for the majority of the LGD's cores.
Gonna happen a bit when you're playing with Coddle, right? You don't have this super active 4 hero that can run around and make plays like something like a Sand King. You're gonna have to play a little bit more farm oriented when you're playing on the side of LGD. You're pretty much relying on your Dragon Knight and Brewmaster to lead the charge and make all these plays happen. They do have the blink now on Chalice though, which will allow them to be able to make those aggressive plays. Constant jabs though, finding the shackle.
Indeed, there is Chalice though to back him up. Jumps in to help out X-Nova with the Primal Split, but X-Nova will fall. It's the Nightmare up in time. Is there the damage from this Brute to actually find a kill out of this one? He's diving in, looking for Jabs. Should be able to chase down Jabs, and indeed he will. Gets the trade kill down bottom. Ice being kited up by Ame. FY Loading up the blast. Ice pretty tanky though at the moment as Arme trying to battle against him with the Rocket Barrage. But Arme, he's losing this fight as Ice mans up. Lacards his Targs. The kill.
And Chalice dies top 2. LGD completely getting outmaneuvered here. I mean, this is a solo kill from this Tidehunter on your carry gyrocopter. Uh-oh. They're going to need Somnus to pull them out of this with this Shadow Blade. Maybe he's going to have to make a lot of moves with this Dragon Knight in order to try to fix all this. Because the Brewmaster split, sure, gets a kill out of it, but it's a Wind Ranger. But at least it's a dominating streak win. So that one ends up being pretty worth it.
And you can only imagine that's the plan for him. Is it Somnus, as we say? He's been involved in nothing, so
yeah.
It absolutely has just been LGD being wherever Somnus isn't to make sure that he has this space, has this farm, and we'll see what type of maneuvers they can pull out when he does have that Shadow Blade complete. It's very close to being there. FY also has the 4-staff now done, so he'll feel a little less vulnerable across the map and will have that safe potential for his teammates as well.
Yeah, he goes the GH, you know, as I always call it, the 4-staff before that Aghanim Scepter. Almost has the Shadow Blade finished on Somnus. And then they can look to actually make plays and look for those pickoffs. Like I was mentioning, they don't have that usual 4 hero that wants to do that, just the Bane. A lot of pressure on maybe for this game to try to catch Ame back up in this one. Gyrocopter is really struggling. 57 last hits at the 15-minute mark. No, it's quite a lot of pressure coming out from Mineski. In these first 15 minutes, the runes come up. Mineski should be able to claim all of them here.
And they want to fight. They've got the Blade Mail done now on the Ember.
Great versus Gyrocopter.
Damage that's just going to be thrown out all over the place from LGD's lineup.
Mineski's ready to fight.
The opening, close the gap, and Nova's gone. Quick catch onto the Bane. Try and turn this into more Moon. Counting out the situation behind the tier 1 tower, but there's still decent numbers from LGD in the neighborhood, so it has to be careful.
They could look to try to recall and go for some fights here if they can set up with that new Shadow Blade being delivered on Somnus.
Drums as well on Arme's Gyro, so these items, they're fantastic to have around this 15-minute mark coming into place for LGD, and now it's just whether or not they are able to utilize them to the point that they can start to turn around these early fights that Mineski are constantly getting away with, leading 16-6. I mean, a 2k gold lead.
Yeah, and because of all this going well, you know, I'd mentioned earlier in the game that they're going to rely on the Exorcism if they don't get that snowball start, but they're starting to get that, so the damage is going to be there without just having their ultis. While on the other side, LGD is a bit more ulti reliant right now because they are behind.
Nice.
Somnus actually is using the Dragon form to just farm an Ancient stack, so knowing that he really needs a BKB in this game versus all this control that's coming out from the side of Mineski. An incredible amount of magic damage is on their side again.
Especially with how ready Mineski are to fight. Instantly as soon as they saw the potential of LGD maybe pushing up to top, they send 4 top. They've got the Ravage ready on ice. They're making the move now as well. They can find an opening and they will find Chalice. And Chalice has been shackled, will be surrounded. No escape for Chalice.
So much control, even the silence thrown on top. No way that you're going to get a split off. And I mean, it's really become a lot, you know, you've been saying is the meta of BKBs, but pretty much everybody is starting to queue up BKBs super early in this game. Death Prophet has one queued up. Brewmaster, Dragon Knight, Gyrocopter. Magic community in this game is going to be incredibly important for both sides. Mineski looking good though.
A lot better than game 1. And a lot of it down to, you know, just the changing draft.
Yeah. I mean, that last draft was, it looked bizarre. You know, we hadn't seen Nyx Assassin in those type of situations in a while. This one looks much cleaner. Ninja Boogie's about to have the Blink Dagger finished up on the Sand King too, so they're going to have even more increased ways to start the fights. All for LGD, still looking a bit rough. FY just really trying to farm this Aghanims. As the point booster finished. We'd like to pick it up. So Doba just, this now for LGD, it's the stall game. They need to just try to make space for this Gyrocopter to farm. Try to defend their tier 1s as long as possible with this Keeper of the Light. And hope for Mineski to make some overextensions.
Mid lane, Mineski. Pushing forward, Somnus has the Elder Dragon form and Shadow Blade ready to pop.
Tidehunter there though.
Who do you go on? Exercise, as you say, a very hard target to start the fight off the back of.
Yeah, I
LGD.
mean, they can't kill him. They're gonna have to do like the brew split into throwing him in the air and then look to isolate the other targets while the Tidehunter is controlled by that brew. It's gonna be hard to execute those fights now, especially with that Blink Dagger now picked up on the Sand King.
Double damage empowers me.
The side. We'll get a board down. There are eyes. He's got the epicenter. He wants to go for this. Jumps in straight away on top of the bay and with the epicenter. That'll be next over. Can't keep himself alive with the brain stab. That's one gone. Jabs nearly falls, but he gets the shackle shot off in time. Holding back Somnus on the dragon. There's the Ravage from Ice, catching the two of them, holding the DK in place, as well as the brew as Mineski. The perfect execution of a team fight. As they come in, they catch out at 3. And LGD is this time round, this game too, is their turn to be the ones that just look a bit like deers in the headlights. They just are at a loss. They don't know how to take these fights that Mineski are bringing to them.
Yeah, and now Tide is going for this triple ancient stack that LGD really needs. And Panel said, this is a great Ember game, and Ember is absolutely doing it already. Godlike 905 involved in 14 of the 20 kills.
This is such a smooth showing from Mineski. Really just showing us sort of the plays that you expect from this lineup. This is the Mineski that we've seen so in the past at DAC in that grand finals against LGD.
I mean, they've got the liberty of being able to make all these more aggressive moves because I keep saying it, but it's LGD. They have FY on Coddle. So it's not like you can't make plays as a Coddle Smith. You can bring your teammates around to make plays, but you making the plays yourself is very difficult.
There is definitely that timing, though, with regards to the Aghanim sets on the Cotlins. It's like if we haven't managed to push high ground before then, it gets infinitely harder to do so.
Yeah, it's the Aghanim and the BKB timing.
Yeah.
The Dragonite and the Gyrocopter getting relatively close to them, but
Somnus tried to chase there for an attempt on a kill, but there's going to be the backup. He's going to get surrounded. Chalice will go for the primal split. There will be a defensive nightmare onto Somnus, but it's not going to save him. Somnus will fall. There's a Fiend's Grip from Nova coming out, but it's onto a DP that's already BKB'd. Mushi does not care as LGD lose X-Nova as well.
The brew is dying as well during the split.
Again, LGD taking fights that they just have no chance of taking. 4 heroes dead. Mineski 24-6, 7k lead. It really is, it's a huge turnaround from what we saw in game 1. And if anything, it's, as we said, sort of the loss in game 1 can heavily be attributed down to the fact that the draft was not great. This time round, sure, the draft was good for Mineski, but I don't think this is an outdraft as much as game 1 was. This is just Mineski playing incredibly well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's as much. I still think it is a bit, though, because, I mean, I'm seeing this Dragonite who, sure, has the Shadow Blade finish, but maybe he can't find anything on the map. He's 0-3-0 on DK. Rare sight to see for maybe. Even though he had a decent amount of farm, he can't really get involved into any of these fights because Mineski just has better situations in everything. And they still have their Ravage up. They still have Epicenter now as well.
Yeah. It's, as we keep saying, it's about when they have the BKBs on the course, they have the Aghanims on the call. We'll see if they can take a fight then. But up until that point, Mineski will almost certainly be allowed to just run circles around them in the team fights.
Yeah, I mean, they already have Mushi with that BKB, like you pointed out before, too. Gets Fiend Script, had the BKB already available. Their damage extremely limited through BKB. There's not a whole lot of physical to those later stages, as we say all the time. Moon almost has a Lincoln Sphere finished up on this Ember as well. 10-0-8 on Ember. The Lincoln's is going to pretty much make him almost unkillable in this game. How do they actually kill this him with a Lincoln? The Dragon Tail was like the only real form of lockdown. Bane's is very difficult to really rely on trying to catch an Ember.
Top lane, Ninja Boogie in with the Epicenter on top of Somnus. The controls there with the Troll Summoner. The DK down once again.
It's a disaster. Blink on both supports on the side of Mineski. They can look to constantly look for these pickoffs. Trying to find Moon here, but the backup's coming. Jabs is here.
They can turn it, and indeed Mineski will keep it going their way. 2 more kills for Moon. The chains onto Arme. This is almost certainly going to be another. Arme's trying to turn and take down Moon with him, but he cannot do so as Moon cleans up a triple kill. 29-6, 23, but it really is getting to be just as much as a stomp as game 1 was the other way.
Yeah, and Chalice also gets caught now too. I mean, this is
trees.
looking exactly like that last game. Chalice, Blink in 4. They're trying to find him. He's joking. Uh-oh, jab's there though.
He's got the nation. Another kill, Mineski. I mean, coming back from game one as they have in an incredible style as well. They really must have talked after that game, and as we in the panel are saying, they must have said themselves, we screwed up in the draft. There's no way we could play our ways out of this. Yeah. We didn't play bad. It was just a game that was impossible to play. And they kept their cool. They've come into game two, and they've said, hey, well, if LGD can outdraft us, what's to say that we can't outdraft them and just steamroll? And that's exactly what they're doing. 30-6, 23 minutes, an 11k advantage. They're into the Roche pit. Nothing that LGD can do to stop them from getting this Roche and Aegis. Mineski just storming ahead.
Yep. LGD needs to. It even looks like they don't really know what to do. They're all just trying to farm. They're like, we need to catch up. We need to get all these items online, but Mineski has full control. A DD rune now picked up from Rune, level 18 as well already on this Ember Spirit, and he's hunting.
Oh, he is, and look who he's found. They've found him. The DK once again, Somnus, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. 0-5-0 now on what has to be, for Somnus, one of his like least impactful games in a long time with LGD. You don't see Somnus go 0-5-0 every day.
Dragon Knight looking
Boogie. He's in.
Really struggled.
He knows that they
the
can
power shot hits.
With the snipe from jabs.
And they're continuing
they're
forward.
Just diving past towers. Mineski moons in, cuts down FY. My goodness.
The Bruce split just pickles too.
That split's doing nothing. You got to get that Earth ruling out of there. Chalice
Ice is putting the catapult on him as well. This is looking totally out of control for LGD this time around.
It absolutely is.
For quite a while now. They have not gotten a kill in ages. And by ages, I mean like 13 minutes. It's been just completely Mineski dominant. Already that 20k experience lead, 14k goal. It really does feel like the repeat of that last game.
Now the thing is, I'm trying to think, have we seen Mineski in the groups? Were they the team that did Frozen yet? In terms of it, they got to a good lead and then they let it slip away, or am I thinking about it?
They had, I think, 1 or 2 that they did have like that, but overall, they've won every single time they've had this win rank. So,
I mean, it's looking good. The all chat coming out from both sides, just in case you did miss at the start. I think the Jabs did say he declared at the start of the game that he was muting everybody.
Was that Jabs or Moon?
Yeah.
It was one of the two of them.
Oh, it might have been Moon.
Yeah.
It was one of the two.
I'm
muting everybody, but he also did clarify, including his teammates.
Yes. Next Nova gets grabbed that again, and it's same thing. LGD, they just can't make plays.
How is this comparing to game one? When do we see game one come to an end? I gotta check this. Game one came to an end, 33 minutes, and it was 38-9. We're getting very close to that.
We're very close to that.
We're getting very close to being an exact mirror.
Not the 1k per goal per minute, though. Sure. It's going to be a little bit less than that in this game.
The net worth advantages are going to be quite as incredible, but still.
Shackle connects.
Oh, they're jumping in. Mushi with the BKB, looking towards Ame. Ame now has his own BKB, will be able to back off. Chalice goes in the center, but all gets caught out by the Ravage as they get the Dragon Knight and the Brew by looks of it. They'll chase down Chalice. Chalice trying to run. He does get the Primal Split off in time. He's got to sort of run himself away there with his Primal Split. Incredibly hard for him to continue fighting.
Killing it.
They are indeed. He's down left to the final one, but the big old bear gets beaten down again. Mineski just rolling on. Up to the high ground,
Mushi
into the base. Mushi forcing X-Nova back to the fountain. X-Nova will survive, but Ninja Boogie's just diving past tier 4s with epicenters. They do lose the Aegis on Moon.
The Fiend's Grip.
Oh. They turn this. That's the silence. Ninja Boogie, 2-man Burrow Strike. Looks like they'll be okay. Boogie! Whoa! That save there from Ice with the Greaves, I believe. And that's GG. It's all over, ladies and gentlemen. 38-6 for Mineski at 27 minutes in. Just a reminder, game one was 38-9 for LGD at 33 minutes. So Mineski did it at a quicker pace.
Yeah, just a bit faster.
Just a bit faster. Wow, what a series. I mean,
I don't think anyone wants to see Dragon Knight anymore. This hero is really struggling. It doesn't matter whose hands it is.
Get rid of that hero.
It doesn't matter whose hands it's been in. It just seems to, sure, you're able to pressure these towers a bit here, but see Somnus and 0-6-0. He can't make rotations.
0-6-0.
They have no damage coming out, and I mean, it's also, I felt like, you know, FY not having this roaming, being able to gank all over the place. They were just relying so much on